drawing board on. We've seen Estral just today look pretty strong on it. Now let's kind of see how they fare against what is still one of the Titans. I don't care if they got top 8. This is still one of the Titans.
Yeah, no question about it. Despite what could be maybe a short stint of struggles, does not mean the NRG is out of it as of yet. That's without question. But still, we'll see how the series begins to play out. We're flying in here for our third map of this series. Winner advances to the grand finals to face off against the winner of Reciprocity and Fire and Ice. That game has officially started, and we'll be providing you guys some coverage of that one once this series comes to a close. But at least off the rip, NRG losing 2 members on the other side for Estral. It is going to be Cardia who falls, so a 2v1 exchange. Estral with the advantage, which is someone indicated as, never mind, Summons decides to go and change the entire tide of it and take down 1 enemy. So that's going to be A and B for NRG off the rip.
Yeah, Estral definitely started off strong. NRG beginning to kind of answer back. Kills traded left and right. NRG with a slight time lead. Estral kind of looking to erase that. They haven't got a hold of B just yet. Someone's actually going to hop right back onto the B hill. As NRG begins to kind of light the kill feed up once again. Mental getting some down. Summons getting the adverse. Estral doing their best to kind of answer back. Summons finally gets dropped. Someone's kind of, in my opinion, lived a little too long there if I'm an Estral fan, but back and forth we go. B hill now in the hands of the Swarm team. Ooh, he gets that last second down. Great pistol use by Explosive. Got to use a shotgun here. Has some nice team fire coming in to be praised. Gets that down across the map. And here we have NRG right back on the offensive. They give it the B hill for just a little while. It is back in their hands. Explosive got to continue to move forward after getting that break.
And that's the way this map can play sometimes. I mean, you kind of look at the overall map's design and you see maybe how it's a little bit bigger. So whenever these fights do or kind of exchange back and forth, when maybe one particular player gets wiped off, it's not instantly, hey, we have an entire group who's going to be here to kind of have this big team fight. It's a majority of the time going to be last-second engagements where one player falls. Okay, now this team has control of the hill. Now this roster has control of the hill. It's not an easy jaunt over to B by any means. So with that being the case, it can be somewhat understandable that this hill absolutely can start to go back and forth from time to time, as indicated here. Estral, I think for maybe the 2nd or 3rd time, regained control over B. Keeping in mind, NRG with the current point advantage.
Look at the setup Estral has about the 75-yard line, just drilling into the NRG home side. You're going to see on the other side of the map, though, Explosive and Solar are starting to pick up kills of their own. Estral is doing such a good job on that top side of the map, but NRG's been kind of the ones to control this bottom side, and the bottom side is where the hill is found. And Crack tries to jump right into Mental's shot. I wouldn't recommend doing that. Billy Goat goes and cleans up those kills, and it looked like the round was in Estral's control, but just like that, it's starting to be kind of flipped on its head in favor of NRG. You're going to see a fight coming in, Summons versus Reflame. A-Hill's been capped. Summons going to get the better of him there. His teammate is there for the cap. Every single hill back in control of NRG. Estral looked like they were doing all the right things, but in the end, it was NRG who won the most important fight at the most important time, and they strike first.
And for me, it kind of comes down to the very end, right? We have a neck-and-neck game based off of time. It was still going to be Estral, a.k.a. the Swarm, who was going to win off of that round. And who makes the play? It's Mental. Mental makes his way through. He rushes in and pretty much comes on the flank at B, takes down 2 players, and then the entire round is pretty much on its head. As Estral, they lose map control. They pretty much allow for 1 lane to be exposed. For me, I feel like that has to be the play, and that was also a huge blunder from Estral because based on the players who were at B, they were not expecting Mental to instantly be pretty much flanking them and taking shots in their back. So I think that for me was kind of the moment where it was somewhat decided NRG was going to walk away with the first. We'll see if that can be a mock-up of things to come or if Estral can quickly start to have things go back in their favor. Is literally off the start, B and C going to NRG. As Estral quickly on the back foot, Crack taking some solid shots to the face as they'll lose Cardia in the meantime. He was actually over at B, so
yeah, and if NRG can start to control this side of the map, it's going to be a lot of trouble for Estral. We saw kind of in the last round, Estral continuing to kind of win this side of the map, but losing the side over towards B. If NRG's firing on both sides of the map, that is going to spell trouble for the Swarm team. We see them start to answer back. They did take out Explosive. Prey's going to be dropped as well. Mental, he's not careful, going to be dropped as well. Does turn around and get the very nice down, so at least a trade before being dropped. So despite a good early initial by NRG, Estral has answered back, but for how long? Members of both teams getting dropped over by B. You're going to see Fiercely up in that kind of overlook spot, trying to identify where the members of NRG are coming off spawn. You kind of see him turning his camera to where you can see both lanes. Estral's taking back the B hill. I think Explosive knows that if he gets over there, that area is going to spell a lot of trouble. There's a lot of members of Estral there waiting. Just kind of get some information right now, trying to figure out exactly where the members of Estral are set up, determine where their push is going to be.
See the 3v1 at the top.
Yeah, it looks like based on that minimap, yeah, 1, 3, and 4 towards that top side. Maybe they're looking for an OE. You're going to see 4 heading up towards the A hill. Fiercely is there. Nice first shot, but Explosive has help. Here comes the help from Estral. Is it going to be enough, though? No, it looks like NRG are going to win this fight, at least for now. Crack stuck in a 1v2 situation for his home hill. Mental. Crack looked like he had the upper hand in that fight. Mental held his shot as he does best. Got that kill. Now all 3 hills beginning to be changed. Estral without a hill to their name at the moment. You're going to see Advers and Summons fighting. Really, that is the NRG home hill they're fighting for. Advers trying his best to just give his team some time, keep them in this. But will it be enough?
Advers trying to stay alive, tossing out the flash. Can he get the engagement? Yes, he does. Unfortunately, he'll fall just after that. So trade advantage going the way of NRG, keeping in mind that near domination is a lot of hills currently in limbo. C going back the way of NRG as Fiercely will finally clear out over at B. So
looks like that play from Advers then actually had some pretty good impact, right?
Yeah.
Kind of held them over towards the NRG home hill.
Oh my goodness.
And Mental.
Sheesh.
Yeah, you're going to see, look at the left side of your screen, all 4 members of NRG decided to conserve their respawn. Keep in mind, this is only the 2nd round, so if you're someone like Praise, you don't want to spawn back in and be on 0 this early. Cut your losses, keep your respawns intact before things get out of hand, because, again, in this new escalation, especially with the new changes, you hate to get low on respawns early. Just such a kind of an uphill climb. It's so hard to win your rounds so definitively.
One thing I want to point out was, and I know that obviously NRG does lose that last round, but one thing that I really liked about their play, it kind of came in from the core 3, right? We talk about Explosive, Mental, Summons. One thing that I noticed was that when they were kind of in the midst of making that double home hill setup, what they did was they in sequence started to reveal themselves. So while there were 3 players there in a 3v2 engagement, one man made his way through while the others did not even make a peep. So in that situation, Estral instantly was caught off guard because they think, oh, it's just going to be a one-man push. Then when in reality, NRG starts to reveal their layers over time. So that's what I love about that last push from NRG, despite it not working out to the absolute best, was that it was their ability to be on the rotations and their ability as well to reveal themselves almost at different times to distract the gunfire away from Estral, because they were constantly getting hit with new waves of players, and I think that involves a lot of communication that Estral has to have in moments like that. Thankfully, they were able to pretty much weather the storm and hold on to lock up this round, but those are just little plays that happen throughout a majority of these rounds, and it really is just a matter of how you handle them, because NRG is going to be hitting you with all kinds of different pitches throughout this game.
And here comes, look at Fiercely on the flank right now towards this topside fight. It looks like NRG is there waiting for him. Crack still alive over that overlook, but for how long? It's kind of caught in the open. NRG makes him pay, so yet another initial on this top side, looking towards the side of NRG. But on the other end, it looks like Estral has taken control of the B hill, so even at times, if you win this fight, if you're not winning the neutral hill, it can become for nothing. We're going to see if NRG decides to do a little bit of what they did last round, win this side of the fight, and then head over towards the opposite home. We see them trying to edge over that way. They're going to just kind of ignore B altogether. Here comes Mental, throws that piece of utility. Estral, they're there a little quicker this time, but NRG, once again, is there waiting. Big team by coming in. Mental trying his best not to be exposed by multiple Lancers. He's going to identify Advers. Shots are going to be traded back and forth. Mental bouncing around, trying to stay free. He's going to finally be dropped. Numbers advantage starting to move towards NRG. Advers going to trade it out. 3v3 situation right now on the map. Estral trying to hold down the C-Hill, trying not to give their opponent this 2-cap. They have about a 45-point lead already. They want to make sure they continue to hold this, but Summons has something to say about it as he takes out Crack, and NRG starts to decap B.
Lot sequence, Summons taking down a few, even coming through with the pistol. Fiercely, though, however, on the flank. Dropping Summons. Here comes the flash. A little bit disoriented, but not enough to really distract him from the moment at hand. As Crack takes down Praised. And now we start to reset ourselves. After the dust begins to settle, it will be Estral currently with the overall point advantage, however, not the hill advantage. And in sequence of that, things could start to change. Solar's 3 enemies around him, unfortunately can only drop 1. As Estral invests a lot toward this middle side, and so far it's worked. However, here comes Summons, who takes down 2. Crack and Adverse with a little bit of support from his squad mate Explosive do the damage necessary to take back B. And that is what you love to see. However, the fights, they're only continuing to manifest as on the other side, Mental and Co., they begin to fall. My word. NRG Estral exchanging blows. We're nearly at a tie scoreline. But here comes Estral. They're not going down just yet here, Ryan.
Yeah, if you're Estral, you got to be careful with some of these back and forths right now, because if you look at the right side of your screen, Landon, they have 3 players on 0 respawns. 1 about to make that a 4th if Fiercely decides to spawn back in. So Estral, they really need to win this round. Otherwise, those respawns will be all for nothing. Woo. It looks like NRG trying their best. Mental, I believe, actually got the chunk. That Summons, I'm sorry, got the kill. End up getting the break. Estral not going to be able to do it. You see the amount of respawns they used in this round, Landon. 4 of their players stuck onto 0. NRG managed to win a very bloody, hard-fought round. I tweeted earlier, I was like, you know what? The teams haven't played for a while. A lot of these pro teams just getting back. There's going to be some sloppy, bloody matches, bloody rounds. And that was one of them right there. That was just an absolute brawl. No matter what hill was on, the home hill, the B hill, that was just insane. And again, Estral put so many resources into that round. So to put all those respawns at bay and then not win the round, those are tough, because now NRG's in a good position to kind of take the half 3-1.
And obviously, if you're kind of in that same coaching role for Estral, because in this situation, what do you tell them? Because it's almost as if their aggressiveness is their best strong suit, and that's one thing that you want to have is confidence versus a team like NRG. So in this situation, are you telling them, hey, guys, let's slow it down, or how do you kind of manage what is a strong suit that kind of has to be toned down a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that's tough because you never want to stop kind of playing your team's identity. I hate the play your game thing.
Sure, right.
You never want to kind of stop playing your play style, playing what's shown you success in the past as a team. You don't want to kind of, for the sake of a matchup, switch up what makes your team great. So to me, it's not necessarily that they need to stop being aggressive, right? I would say to be a little smarter of where you apply your aggression, right? Because, hey, like, maybe we shouldn't just all barrel into this spot. Maybe we should move toward, instead of going towards the bottom side of that initial, hey, let's push towards the top side, overlook side. Let's make that our aggression.
Sure.
See how that play kind of fares versus the other side.
See how it plays out. Estral, a lot of things to juggle, all things considered. So a lot of players not seeing the best when it comes into respawns. Keeping in mind, Praise from the other side struggling for NRG, so if he falls yet again, he'll be out for this round. As Solar's explosive, everybody putting up some solid plays, as there we have it. It looks as if it will be Solar's pushing through. Actually has the opportunity to maybe take down Reflame. Going for the body stack. NRG nearly at full domination. Estral, can they make anything happen in time? Can anybody get there? It looks as if it will be a little bit of a deny for now, as A will in fact be grabbed. But
Praise is out.
Praise in that fight actually ended up getting taken down, so that's a big moment. Keeping in mind, Estral, look at how many players on their side are only up to 1 life left.
Crack's out too. So permanent 4v4 on the map right now. You're going to see Estral controlling those numbers, but it's NRG controlling the scoreboard. Explosive, once he spawns back in, he's going to be on his last life. That's tough. If there's one player you want on the map for this NRG team, it is their in-game leader, it is their captain, and of course one of their slayers as well in Explosive. On the other end though, if you're Estral, you have to be delicate. You have 3 different players who can be taken off the map right now. You basically kind of have to put Adverse towards the front of whatever push you're going to make, because you're down about 60 points. They have the 2-cap. Adverse is going to go down. He was the player that had the respawns. Solar's going to get killed fiercely. That's going to take him out now. Current 4v3 situation for the rest of the map for NRG. Things are looking good. Reflame going to, looks like, flash himself. I think if you're Estral, you want to find Explosive. You want to try to even out these numbers best you can. Good shots by Reflame. Can he finish him up? Misses the reaction shot off of a beautiful first shot. And now he's going to be taken out. 4 members down. Cardi, all that remains. NRG, again, very, very few ways they can lose this one.
Yeah, not a whole lot, that's for sure. As NRG slowly but surely hold on to A. Cardia waving the white flag as he will fall, and that will be NRG locking up this particular round and pretty much the half. And a solid performance here. Like we said, 3 rounds to 1 as they controlled the end game pretty well. And this is the thing that we talked about was Estral. It pretty much came down to the life bank. When it came down to life count, the struggle off the rip causes so many different problems for teams. And this was kind of the same issue that we talked about in Asylum and Exhibit. Game 1, Game 2. NRG, they go down 3-0. That's when they start to struggle with life count. Estral, they go down 2-0, 3-0 on map 2. They start to struggle. And actually at 2-1, when you think Estral maybe should be a little bit kind of more clear, they're starting to already struggle with life count. So this is going to be a big deal to kind of be looking out for as time does progress in this series, is how players are valuing their life, because that has been the definition of what has decided a majority of our rounds here in this series.
And a big initial coming in from Estral. He can manage to find summons. These are long spawns. It's a good opportunity. Looks like they're going to drop him. That should be a full elim. He should probably get this kill versus the animation, but let's see if those few seconds are going to cost him. Supposed to be at 1. He's going to be dropped. Solar's and Mental, the last alive. They're going to drop as well. Mental got to that flash, get hit by an absolute brick by Crack. He's going to go nowhere. Trip Cap comes in.
Well, hey, at least if you're going to, emote.
At least emote and win.
You back it up, in that situation. However, overall game, I'm sure if Estral ends up losing the series, I think that NRG are going to remember that one for a little while. That may even be a little bit of a Twitter conversation in the future. I don't know. But that's just the way that it seems to go, especially in Gears Esports. Hey, there are grudges. Grudges indeed.
Yeah, especially in our game, people don't forget. I'll tell you that much. We like to trash talk for fun as it is, so when things get serious,
never forget. Never forget.
Never forget.
Yeah. Shout out to Ian Porter. Good old Crimson. I love that meme. I'll be honest with you. That is one of the best things of all
absolutely.
time. It's great. But hey, back in the game, NRG already halfway up the mountain. Estral, hey, just pulling up the rear, but we'll see exactly what they maybe have in stores. Flash is already out of the gate, especially due to the swapping of hills. E going to be a prime target for everybody. As Mental tossing in a few shots here.
Yeah, it's a big swing round right now. Of course, we're on the tiebreaker. This 3-2, obviously huge mental difference between that 3-3 and a 4-2. For NRG, you want to force that 4-2, right? You want to put your foot on the throat. Meanwhile, Estral fighting to kind of equalize the scoreline. Praise and Mental watching over that neutral hill, trying to be surrounded. Players go down from NRG. Mental's going to be the last alive. They can get this last kill. That will almost be a full wipe. Solars is going to be off spawn. It's going to be Estral, though, winning yet another initial over that east side. They look so strong on that side of the map against Mazer, against NRG, whoever it may be. They look pretty strong on that side of the map. Now with the neutral hill being over there, that could favor them a little bit towards the second half. Again, looking to equalize the score. Here comes NRG again, pushing around. Once again, giving up the neutral hill, making that kind of round-the-world push. Estral seem to be kind of waiting, seem to be a little more prepared than they were in the past. Big fight coming in. Solar's chasing Advers into the spawn, not going to succeed. Now let's kind of see what NRG chooses to do. Let's see if they're going to put their respawns into this round. Try to kind of cut their losses. We saw what a bad respawn economy could do for Estral in the first half. It pretty much crippled them towards the second half of the first half. If you catch my drift there. Looks like they're choosing to invest. So you're going to see Solar, Summons, Explosive, and Praise all sitting on 2 respawns. I would like to think now if you're NRG and you kind of lose these respawns one more time, you're not going to spawn back in, or you're not going to waste them. It's a big opportunity for Estral now to kind of tie this back up with a good hold.
Well, however, at the same time, we have seen Estral in the clutch moments lose rounds. I'm talking about Exhibit more specifically. Here comes the push from NRG. Like we said, the most influential. Flash is out. Crack not in a position to at least fire off the rip. Now has the ability to. Most enemies out. And NRG has made their way in. Here come the flashes once more. NRG has done the work, at least off the rip. Praise takes another one down, and this is when the cards start to fold. There goes Cardia. NRG, they're on the run here, Ryan.
But someone from Estral has snuck over towards the NRG home hill. That's going to force NRG to have to turn around in one way or another. I just don't think there's enough they could do to get to each hill in time. beautiful play coming in from Estral at a time where things were looking dire, right? It looked like that same song and dance we saw a couple times on Exhibit that we've seen a million times from this team where they kind of steal the round away.
That's my favorite song.
Big play coming in, though, from Estral. Now sitting at a 3-3, and look at Fiersley, 30 eliminations. Fiersley, a player that doesn't get highlighted a lot on this team, had a massive, massive event at San Diego, looking to continue playing well heading into this Mexico City event now. 3-3, tiebreaker. Everything's on the line right now. Looks like Estral, from what I could see, I think was up in the respawn economy a little bit.
Yeah, I think it was, what, at least a few players from NRG were around
They're all
the
like 2-2-2, yeah. And again, we figured if they died, they wouldn't spawn back in, so they'll still probably be up in the 3 range. You're going to see, interesting enough, double utility on one side, and then the utility Boltok on the other. You heard me probably talking to Taylor about how I love me some Boltok.
I do too, man.
Thing can be
especially
deadly.
the right hands, yeah, absolutely. You can do all the work you need. As we'll see this fight break through yet again, 4v4 over here at E. Utility grab for either side as multiple flashes, all kinds of utility. As nobody actually can see anymore. It actually just happens to be that way. You get to flash so many times, it just, you know, your eyes just start to get ruined. However, here come the flames. How about that? Crack. Cardi actually ends up finding 2 due to that perfectly placed Incen. And now they have all the confidence to push this one out. There goes Solars, and also Summons could be on the way. Mental doing everything he can to watch over his teammate. However, he just watches him splash into lots of different pieces. That's going to be a solid push from Estral, and lovely placed utility from them to hold on and grab this early E-Hill.
It's another multi-kill coming in from Cardia with the Incens. We've been seeing him make huge plays with those grenades throughout the course of this tournament. Yet another initial one by Estral over towards this east side of the map. We saw them do pretty well early on as in the first half, but again, without the hill being there, it's just not quite as impactful. Now with that neutral hill being there, when they can win those fights, they're going to get a good chunk of points because of it. Well, I'm looking for this Boltok right now. Doing a good job of double flashing him. That Boltok, now when you get that initial damage in, can be so deadly. Ooh. He's almost pop-shotting it like it's a shotgun.
Be careful not to hit your own teammates as well. As Praise runs right into the blender. Lovely stuff from Adverse as that will be NRG on the struggle bus a little bit, rather explosive, excuse me, has to use the body shield. And that Boltok, while it doesn't land, at least has a little bit of teammate support to clean it up in the end. So back and forth we go. Estral do grab back E. Keep in mind they don't have their home hill, so they will have to at some point reference back, grab that. Looks as if that will be one member doing the work. However, player number 3.
Yeah, it's like Summons versus Fiersley over towards that hillside. You're going to see Fiersley get hit by a brick. Summons, it's a beautiful second spread. Making the plays to keep his team involved. Again, this NRG team so skilled individually. They make so many just individual plays at times that keep their team alive. Numbers trying to favor them as well. You see them taking down Crack in the process. Currently a 4v5 on the map. Trying to use that and capitalize on those numbers as fast as they can. If you're Estral, you do not want to give this round up. You've done so much work up until this point. You have the respawn economy on your side. You see Explosive, Praise, and Solars all down to 1 apiece. Meanwhile, a lot of members of Estral.
Wow.
And Solar somehow, with a flash on his foot, doesn't get stunned. Managed to live through that flash and get 2 kills out of it. Very unfortunate if you are Estral.
Gosh, he's doing so much damage, but still managing to stay alive. There's actually somebody at the flank. Here comes the pinch, Ryan. Here comes the pinch. They've got 2 players coming in from the opposite end. Fiercely makes slight work of Summons. Explosive still here. They're trying to play all their advantages that they can. Instantly getting on that cover. Scoreline currently tied as E sits in limbo, but it will be Estral with a minor advantage. They have like maybe a half a tick. Keep in mind, Hill's starting to rotate. NRG grabbing back at D. And look at this from Solars and Mental. They combine for a few. Cardia taking down double meat shields from either side. Who's going to walk away with it? This could be it. Cardia actually gets knifed. It's Mental who manages to do it. And all things considered, the rest of the NRG members spawn up. They go for their opposite home hill, and they will walk away with this round at the very latest of stages, as that was the one, if you're Estral, you feel like you had to have, and they couldn't lock it up, Ryan.
That was heartbreaking for Estral. Everything was in the palm of their hands, and they let it slip again. They're still in this map, of course, but those are the ones that start to shift momentum, right? If you're NRG, you're getting hyped, you're excited. You just, once again, we talked about them, how they pull those things away out of the jaw of life. That's a perfect example right there. Mental made such a big play over towards that neutral hill. And now NRG find themselves on map and match point now. Keep in mind, this is to go to the grand finals. How does Estral bounce back? We've seen them be clutch time and time again in San Diego. Can they bring that same intensity here and bring this to a 9th and final round? Big initial coming up.
Definitely is. Estral, they've been looking solid kind of in these early moments. We'll see if they can keep it up. However, explosive, the first one to draw blood. And you see Estral pretty much just topple over each other to try to exit first, as they're not confident whatsoever in how that first push began to break through. And this is a very scary collapse. Estral, they lose 3 members off the rip and have nothing to answer for it. Keeping in mind, life count, not really too much of a factor for anybody but Praised, who happens to be on the NRG side, if you're not familiar. But still, even yet, NRG, they push their way through, and like I said, they're currently in the driver's seat so far throughout this round.
Yeah, they got to kind of use these picks. You see they get that drop on the Solars. Use those picks, use those numbers, start to advance forward. Don't let this round slip away from you. You see the confidence coming in from NRG in the beginning of that initial. I mean, they just, you see, especially it was explosive, kind of tip of the spear in that fight. Got in there, got aggressive, got that first blood. Reflame gets caught slipping there. Got to expect those NRG lances that you kind of know where they are. You have the marks. Big fight up top. Here's hits some nice shots. Summons, despite being full red, hits 2 beautiful spreads on each of these players. Has the team fire. NRG, when it matters most, are coming through huge. Adverse tries to get a kill. It's not going to be enough. NRG looking to kind of still continue to kind of farm out these players. You're going to see now Crack sitting at 1 respawn. Fiercely now at 0. Praise at 0 himself. Solar's at 1. NRG continuing to just build this lead, right? They don't want to go ahead and risk their life for nothing. They have the control. They have the advantages. That's just going to have to make a big play. Their win condition is pretty much turned into elimination or trip cap.
Got a great crossfire set up. Cardia had the opportunity just a little bit late. When it came down to the shots, here's the team fight. Lovely first shot as there goes another one. Summons takes down Cardia, has the opportunity to drop Reflame as well. It is all about the clutch plays.
Oh.
Summons letting them know, and maybe even posing for the fans at home. Take a picture to last longer. What a sequence. Mental, Summons, so many different sequences, but NRG, they lock this one up and get the final laugh. Summons in proper pose. We'll say goodnight to Estral and say, hey.
And I want to show you this. If
we weren't gone for very long.
If Cardia just goes wide here, you pick up a routine 3v1 and everything's over, but instead Summons absolutely world stars all 3 members for the hill and for the win. What a play coming in from the unsung hero in Summons, not missing a single shot.
4 for 4.
And then with the cleanup, everything you want to see if you're a fan of NRG. And as we're used to seeing in many other tournaments, Emergence Days in particular, they find themselves booked with a ticket to the grand finals. We will not get a rematch of our San Diego final. Instead, it is NRG looking to kind of take their first kind of tournament win of the week since San Diego.